Hey, welcome to this episode of New on Music Row. It is going to be a slam dinger wham doozy. I don't know where I came up with that, but I just did. Why? Well, because our 5 picks of the week is packed with a ton of powerhouse artists. You're not going to want to miss it. And guess what? You can only get it here on the Rise Network. So stay tuned because it's coming at you in just a few seconds. Hey, it's Chris Miles. Welcome to the new episode of New on Music Row. That's kind of like the same thing, right? The new episode of New on Music Row. Anyway, you know what we do here. We talk about what's coming up on the radio as far as country music is concerned, the latest and greatest new artists. We talk about artists that are on the rise, and we throw some extra stuff in there as well, too. Maybe a little, dinner trivia type stuff that you can do, like on this day in country music history, for example, and so much more. And, of course, we always listen to your recommendations as well, too. So thanks you guys for all the input. A lot of you have actually sent me DMs, I guess, because that's what it is, right? You slide into the DMs now, and don't slide into my DMs. Anyway, you're more than welcome to send me a message, but just don't slide into my DMs. There's something wrong with that. Anyway, but yeah, so appreciate you guys sending me the comments, the likes, all the subscribes, everything you guys do. It's the reason why we can do what we can do. And like I said, coming up in a couple of months here, we're going to start having some regular extra content, let's call it that. But without further ado, let's get into this week's episode. Taking a look at the 5 picks from last week. Change My Mind from Riley Green, which had already been released to the masses, so to speak. It's on his latest album. So there have been a ton of streams on it, but now it's available on radio and, it's been on Sirius for a couple of weeks now, but more so the mainstream radio situation. Last week alone, it had, 1.2 million streams just for last week. Previously, it had 58.2 million streams. So lots and lots of streaming airplay, but some decent radio airplay this week. Next, we had Brunette Tucker Wetmore, which I had heard quite a long time ago, and I was like, you know what, this is going to be a hit for him, and this week kind of proved it. Previously, he was at 77.2 million streams. Now he added another 2.2 million streams to that total. So just like last week alone, rather, you guys listened to it 1.2 million times, making it a decent track for Tucker Wetmore. Then up we had Alexander City. We had Cassius Culpepper. We 184,000 streams with his new song Cherry Rose. Did you get the easy like Sunday morning feeling from that song? Some Commodores feeling in the background of that one. Yeah, it was a really good tune, and you liked it as well too. Hunter Girl was next with Somewhere Wild, 24,000 streams. Like I said, she's on the rise, up-and-coming star. So about kind of where I thought she was going to land. And then last but not least, Cowboy Love Me, Lucy Tiger, just over 1,000 streams. Lucy, of course, from Sydney, Australia, but she makes her home now in Muscle Shoals, Alabama. And she's up and coming on the rise. Not a lot of people have heard about her just yet. People in Muscle Shoals have heard about her, but the rest of the world she's starting to gain momentum with the rest of the world as well, too. So those are the 5 picks of the week. Did they rank where you thought they were going to rank, or were you a little bummed that maybe one didn't do better than the other? Well, leave me comments in the comment section. Let me know. We can start the dialogue, as I like to call it. And I also like to call the next segment the 5 picks of the week. This week, we have got a powerhouse of 5 picks of the week. Luke Combs, Sleepless in a Hotel Room, is on the list, and I'm going to tell you what, this song is going to be another big one for him as well, too. Of course, from Huntersville, North Carolina. We featured him on the show before. Giving Her Away was the last song we featured, Days Like These, and then Back in the Saddle. And Luke finally said what I thought he was going to say, that there's a new album coming out, so be on the lookout for that. Of course, he's going to be playing in stadiums on Saturdays coming up in the summer. I think the tour starts either in late April or early May. I know there's one up in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I'm going to be there. So up next, Jason Aldean's Her Favorite Color. Jason, of course, from Macon, Georgia. This is going to be another one of those great hits for him. It's got a great story behind it, and I think it's going to do well. He's been featured on the show before, Help You Remember, How Far Does a Goodbye Go, and then Whiskey Drink, all of the songs that we featured last year in the 5 picks. And Jason, of course, is pretty much a household name at this point, so you know that this one's going to do well. Megan Moroney announced that she's got a new album coming out a little bit later this year. She's, of course, from Savannah, Georgia. A lot of big talk about who's going to be on the album and some of the duets she's got and stuff. But she's releasing the first single from the album today. Wish is the name of the song, of course, from Megan Moroney. And she's been on the show before, too. Last time we featured her with Beautiful Things. 6 months later was another song that we featured her from as well. And then, of course, she made it really big with the Tennessee Orange song that she did. But right before that, she had that duet with Kenny Chesney, You Had to Be There, which was just an absolute fun song. Up next from Midland, Texas, Braxton, Keith, going to be featured on the five picks of the week. I Ain't Trying is the title of the new song that's coming out today. He's been on the five picks of the week before. So he's no new name to this portion of the show. If you haven't checked him out yet, you need to, because he's another one of those stars that's going to start making a name for himself. You're going to see him kind of as a supporting act, and then eventually he's going to go out on his own and tour solo. But if you haven't heard him yet, check out Cozy, A Little Bit Closer, Baby You Do, and then he's got a really great cover of George Strait's The Chair as well for you to check out. Last but not least, the very first Rising Star Spotlight of the week from last year when we started filming back in April. I'm talking about Ty Myers. He's got a new song called Message to You. Ty, of course, from Austin, Texas. He's been featured on the show before as well. Come On Over and Through a Screen are a couple of songs that we featured on the show. And Ty just has that just soulful, bluesy sound. And if you don't know who he is, you need to listen to him, because I'm telling you what, he's got some great stuff. And Message to You is another great one as well. Come On Over is doing really well for him too. So check out all those. And then, of course, check out the 5 picks of the week. Like I said, every week we post the 5 picks up on our playlist, which is on Spotify. Just look for New on Music Row. You'll find it and all the great songs that we feature there. I throw in some extras as well too if we talk about something for the history category, or if I'm talking about the Rising Star Spotlight. And then, of course, the pick of the week. We'll feature some songs from that artist, or we'll feature a song that I'm trying to give a little bit more love. But let's go over those 5 picks. Luke Combs, Sleepless in a Hotel Room. Jason Aldean's Her Favorite Color. Megan Moroney and Wish. Braxton Keith and I Ain't Trying. And last but not least, Ty Myers and with Message to You. Those are the 5 picks of the week. And let me know if you got suggestions. Like I said, leave them in the comment section. It's always great to have dialogue with you guys as well, too. Coming up next, we're going to go all the way out to Windsor, Ontario, Canada for the Rising Star Spotlight of the week. We're talking about Kelsey Main. She's got some great stuff out there, a really interesting background as well, too. I mean, she ran the gambit of stuff that you can do before you actually get into country music. She was an athlete. She was a nationally ranked sprint hurdler in Canada. And then she went out to get a nursing degree. And she's got she worked as a registered nurse for some time. And then she decided, you know what, music is really my calling. So she's got a very diverse musical background, of course, growing up right there in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. That's right outside of Detroit. So you can imagine she's got the Motown roots. She's got some of the R&B and the hip-hop from that area as well. Of course, and then influenced by her heritage as well. She's Scottish, Irish, and Italian. So there's some of that flavor in her music. She's also been an award-winning songwriter. She's a 3-time CMA Ontario nominee and a winner of the International Songwriting Competition. And just last year, she was named BizX Magazine's Artist of the Year. So this gal is somebody that should be on your radar if she hasn't already. She's been SiriusXM's Top of the Country finalist, and she's played major events like the Calgary Stampede and Boots and Hearts. And to top it all off, this gal's even been an actress. She made her big screen debut as the lead in Willie, which is an adaptation of a Stephen King short story. So let's see. She's an athlete. She's a nurse. She's got acting credits. Oh, and she's got some great songs. And she's an independent spirit as well, too. She's fiercely independent. She self-represents herself, and she often produces her own content. She produced her video for As I Go, which was went viral on TikTok, getting over 1 million views in one single day on TikTok. And there's another great video for you to check out of hers. "Taking You Home" was featured on the Rogers Hometown Hockey Tour, and it was also used to promote the Humane Society. And let's go over the stuff that you should be listening to for her. "For the Record" is a great song from hers. "Taking You Home," like I had mentioned already. "As I Go," we mentioned that song. "Someone Who Knows," and then "Breaking Bad." And not to coin a phrase here, but "For the Record," has been the song of hers that has been on repeat for me for actually a couple of weeks now. I've had this gal in my back pocket. Probably, I think I found her right before the Christmas break that I took. And I was like, you know what? We're going to feature her in one of next year's episodes. So Kelsey Main, of course, from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Check her out. She's the Rising Star Spotlight of the Week. And like I said, she'll be featured in the playlist right there on Spotify for you to check out and listen to some of her songs as well. All right, so let's move on to today's date in country music history. We're talking, of course, about January 16th. Back in 1943, born in Robbinsville, North Carolina, was I guess he's well known. Ronnie Millsap. I mean, if you've been around country music for a while, you've heard Ronnie Millsap. He's a country music artist, a pianist as well. He's well known for being blind and being a singer, one of the most successful blind country singers. He also got some crossover, to some pop hits and stuff like that. It was almost like a song is one of his great songs. "Smoky Mountain Rain," that's one a lot of people know. "There's No Getting Over Me." "I Wouldn't Have Missed It for the World," "Any Day Now," and then, of course, "Stranger in My House." He's credited with 6 Grammy Awards, and he's got 40 #1 country hits. So, of course, happy birthday to Ronnie Millsap, born today, January 16th, 1943. All right, so going all the way up to 1974, the year that I was born, by the way. Charlie Rich was at #1 on the U.S. country chart with "Behind Closed Doors." The album received 3 Country Music Association awards: Best Male Vocalist, Album of the Year, and Single of the Year for the title song, which was written by Kenny Odell. The album also went gold. Rich would also win a Grammy for Best Male Country Vocal Performance, and he would take home 4 Academy of Country Music Awards, or as we like to call them, the CMAs, right? I think that's what they've been turned into, right? Or ACMs, sorry, ACM Awards. Moving on, 1981, the TV series Harper Valley PTA. And every time I say that, that song goes off in my head. And of course, the song that I'm talking about is Jeannie C. Riley song. And it inspired the 1978 movie of the same name, Harper Valley PTA, and then also, of course, the TV show. Barbara Eden would play the scandalous single mom Stella Johnson in the movie, and she would reprise her role in the TV show as well. The show lasted 2 seasons, so if you haven't checked it out, I'm sure it's like on Tubi, or you could probably find it on YouTube as well. Moving ahead to 2006, Johnny Cash's biopic Walk the Line won 3 Golden Globes for Best Musical or Comedy, plus awards for Joaquin Phoenix and Reese Witherspoon. And the Brokeback Mountain piece, A Love That Will Never Grow Old, also won Best Original Song as well. That's back in 2006. Moving ahead to 2012, Rascal Flatts would release Banjo as the first single from their 8th studio album, Change, the title of that one. The song became the group's 12th #1 hit on the U.S. country charts, and that's a look at country music history. So moving on to the weekly pick, another up-and-coming artist that probably isn't very well known, but I think once you get a listen to her, you're going to be like, oh yeah, she's somebody to be listened to. She's got a great voice, soulful raspiness in the voice. She's from Argyle, Texas, and her name is Abby Cohn, C-O-N-E, not K-O-K-H-O-N-E, I think is how you would spell Cohen the other way. But Abby Cohn is her name. Like I said, she's from Argyle, Texas. Some songs that I've been listening to her, Change the Man, listening to from her. Change the Man, If I Were a Song, which is a great song to check out if you haven't checked her out yet. Rhinestone Ring, Greener, which is also the title of one of her albums. And then Good Thing, which is a duet that she does with Matt Kearney. All great stuff to check out. And she's a powerhouse. She debuted in Nashville at 12 years old. That's when she made her first trip to Nashville. And that's where she started honing her craft as a songwriter. She was invited to the Grand Ole Opry at the age of 22 by Vince Gill. And then she performed. Her first performance, this is kind of interesting, was at age 6. And she's performing since then. She started at the Grand Ole Opry circuit with a band out there as well. And she's often referred to as clear and vulnerable when it comes to her writing. She's got clever lyrics, sharp lyric honesty, and also been noted as having palpable realness in her songs as well. And I think that's what's going to kind of hone in for you, or what you're going to kind of connect to, is that palpable realness that's in all of her songs. She was a major label. She was signed to a major label, but she did go independent. She was with Valerie Music, and then in 2019, she chose to walk away, became an independent artist, and her journey has been described as healing and rewarding, so much so that she's got a CMT recognition. She was inducted into the CMT's Next Women of Country class of 2020. She does have a lot of influences in her music. She identifies as a country artist who is a fan of indie pop and folk. She cites Silk Sonic and artists like Carly Pearce as her inspirations. And her song, If You Were a Song, has garnered nearly 18 million streams just on Spotify alone. So check her out. She's got a great storytelling core to her lyrics and her nature. She believes the defining factor of country music is storytelling, and she focuses on telling honest, heartfelt stories in her lyrics. Like I said, the palpable realness of her stuff is what I think is just going to get you, and you're going to get hooked from there. If I Was a Song, check that out. Good Thing with Matt Kearney. That's what kind of honed it in for me, so to speak. When I listened to her, I was like, "Ooh, this gal's got some really good sound, really good tonation in her voice." And I'm looking forward to see what she's got coming up. A new album in the works as well too. But Abby Cohen, of course, the weekly pick there, right here on New on Music Row. And you know what? That's going to do it for the show. Not much going on as far as country music is concerned in the local area, as far as tours are concerned. But coming up in a couple of weeks here, we're going to have a ton of stuff to talk about. A lot of artists coming into town right around the end of January, early February. But keep it locked here. We'll always keep you up to date on everything new in country music, everything new as far as the Chicagoland area is concerned with country artists and when they're coming to town. And of course, we're going to have some great stuff lined up all throughout the year. And you know what? It's just going to keep getting better. So keep it locked here. You can only catch New on Music Row on the Rise Network. It's also on Spotify and Apple Music as well. I'm Chris Miles. You all have a wonderful day. And until next time, I'll see you on the flip side.